Hello and welcome back to FoW Grand Prix Berlin. My name is Ignaz and I'm joined again by Marco.
Hello.
And yeah, so round 4
Yeah.
of our Swiss rounds, and we have Nino Zimmermann against Markus Heuge. And yeah, what are they playing?
Markus Heuge, more or less standard Pharaoh token variant with some changes, like rapid growth is not common choice in other games, but Elfish Commander, Spirit Caller Elf, Sacred Elf, and so on.
Yeah, just a pretty standard black green.
And Nino Zimmermann is 0-6 Sages deck build with a very interesting choices. There are some often seen cards like Pharaoh's Spell, Otherworld Dreams, True Blade of Spirits, but so many cards that you don't normally see, such as Alice, Girl of the Blue Planet, Floyd's Water Dragon, also the Dragon of Scenic Beauty, all cards that are very interesting, and also not a common black-white control variant of Zeros. It's a blue-white-green control variant.
Yeah, so pretty interesting to see what his deck will do against just one of the top tier picks we'd expect it to be in
it could
at this Grand Prix. So he has to be prepared in some way of to play against Pharaoh. So I'm really interested to see how his deck plays against Pharaoh.
Yeah,
and
of course.
so
also the judgment isn't that oppressive against Pharaoh, because Pharaoh can search out a Resonator and Faria just as 11/11 body.
Yeah. So yeah, now we see they are already in the game.
Yeah.
Marcus started and had one of many 1-drops in his deck. He had the
Spirit
Caller Elf
with the token on board, and actually 2 stones. And it looks like he used planting beans to get the Pharaoh Rallying King in the grave.
Yeah, and I think he also countered Nino's Tama, because it's in the grave,
like,
and just. But I don't see what happened.
Otherworld Dreams was in the grave.
Ah, okay, so he countered it.
It's 99%
that
it get countered.
So a Sacred Elf, that works.
Because of planting beans.
Yeah, correct.
That's a good choice. So he taps, I think, Otherworld Dreams. Yeah.
He will use the Otherworld Dreams.
So he could get in play some big resonators for.
Yeah, and he will put a Mikash into play. Yeah, so that is basically some sort of counterspell as well. Just can shoot down Sacred Elf at end of turn and gets Nino a card in his hand. So not that bad.
Through 3 cards and then sack. Can sack his Mikash for Sacred Elf, because Mikash instead of Tama shoots 400 damage.
Yeah, so
it's more or less a better counterspell in this scenario, because you can sack it and
he
also draw a card.
He gets one more card than he would usually get. In that scenario.
It's more or less a +1 instead of a -1.
Yeah.
And with the counter from Marcus, he uses that counter. So he don't have it in other games or in later rounds in the game. So Mikash is expressive +1 instead of the counter.
But he opted not to kill the Sacred Elf end of turn. Instead, he now uses a True Greatsword to kill the elf and just
True Blade
attacks the one of the elves, which will now Mikash will get True Greatsword, but then he just opts to sack the Mikash and instead shoot the elf down.
Good option.
Yeah.
So Nino is thinking of anti-enter. So another stone. It's at the moment it's not that impressive on field. It's only 3 stones on Marco's side. Now he plays a Flying Cloud.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And attack with the 100 token to deal some damage.
So maybe we'll see judgment next round.
Yeah.
Seems pretty likely because the cloud is in play. FoW is then already a flying attacker with 1000 attack, so
of course
would put a lot of pressure onto Nino.
Yeah.
And yeah, he plays an end of turn Malfi just to ramp himself up a bit.
Yeah. So that's not affected by summoning sickness.
Yeah.
And it looks like that Nino's deck is more slow deck, control deck. Don't focus on judgment and plays some control cards, some draw cards like Tama.
Yeah.
And Marcus, if Marcus get a effective judgment, it's very impressive against Nino. But if Nino can judge, and then the flying cloud is more or less useless because all of the creatures lose flying.
Yeah.
And Zero can block the FoW Resonator and the FoW J-Ruler without getting damage, and that's very impressive.
Yeah. So now I think Marcus has really to think about if he wants to judge, because Nino has the open mana for a Dawn of Earth, which I think he got it, so that's pretty good.
Last game it was too short to get Dawn of Earth.
Yeah, correct again.
Get it one turn too late, but now it's the perfect timing.
he had the 2 mana open to just use it now.
Setup. I think he exiles Spirit Caller Elf, because after judgment you don't want to see it, because you can't make mana back with it, because you can't tap it to recover stone, because you don't have the ruler side of FoW.
Yeah,
so
and also you do not want to lose any other of your important elves that you have to search up with FoW. So just getting rid of a random 1/1
that
dude,
don't do anything, because
not that.
You play it and then it's a 1/1 with the token 1/1.
Yeah, and that doesn't really do anything in that scenario anymore. So yeah,
and you don't want that FoW get killed or die to final battle, and also there isn't the color of final battle, so that's a very good board state for Marcus. He can swarm his field, and with no final battle in Nino's deck, it's very impressive. With big board state, you can't do anything about it.
So he can, if we get to the point of a game where he can just flood the board out, I think it's pretty difficult for Nino to just clear everything away, because he just is not playing black, and so he does not have access to the final battle. In this turn he just played
other destruction spells.
Yeah, that's true. Now this turn he just played Mikash, got some cards, and but I think he doesn't have to do all that much, because FoW Judgment with Dawn of Earth is not that impressive, because you just have this body that can attack, but I think now flying in with 1000 damage, he takes it. Because he has some more time to work with.
Nino judged, but he didn't, because of the abilities of Zero on the J-Ruler side.
Yeah.
And also he don't have black, so he can't get rid of flying on FoW or other stuff, because he can't pay the 1 black on the ruler side. To get or to let loose the abilities. So that's maybe good or bad. We will see it.
For now he has the Malfi, so he has temporarily access to black mana. I think he has to be a bit careful with playing his judgment, because Marcus is playing the black version of FoW, so he has to be aware of this, of the possibility of a big final battle to just kill the Zero again. But now he
judged.
He goes for it. Just to.
And also Marcus has the life to pay. It's 22.
Yeah, it's a lot. And now if he has more counters up, which I think he will have, otherwise he just, in my opinion, would not have judged that aggressively.
And with a 3 final battle on main board, it could be a good possibility till now that he did draw one of the final battles, maybe more, so that it looks like that he maybe pay next round for final battle to get rid of it. But he also has 3 will open, so there could be counters.
That's what he has to think
battle.
about.
And
he opts to choose to call stone. Just
it's a safer version.
He just needs more mana now.
Yeah, of course, and also he need cards in hand to get the final battle that he could kill against. Could he kill Zero, because in a long game Zero could kill Pharaoh easily after the judgment of both without gaining that much advantage, because if Zero battles Pharaoh, she can't die to the battle. So that's very impressive.
And so Marcus didn't do anything, just call stone, press turn back to Nino. And
then in face there's Malfi.
Just
flashing.
Get him a bit more mana to work with.
It looks like 6.
He has had 6 mana, so.
And passes.
I think he just doesn't have to do a whole lot here. The game is a bit locked up, and I think in a long game, if he can play around the final battle, he just doesn't have to do a lot to pressure Marcus. Just wait a bit, get some cards,
of course,
and just wait for.
Also, he needs some resonators. It looks like he don't get any resonators in hand. He only has his Pharaoh, and there are the Rendezvous of Light and Wind. Now with one light J ruler and of course 3 wind resonators, he could place 4 or less card from his hand and put 4 1/1 counters on one resonator.
So now he tries to get a bit more power, a bit more damage onto his board, but Marcus will hardcast Severing Winds for 4 mana, and which Nino wants to dream
with Otherworld Dreams. Flash in.
I think that.
So Otherworld Dreams go through.
Go through, and just following up by Malfi is not that.
Isn't that impressive? It looks like Shavujing, so that other spells cost 1 more to pay for the opponent, and he places on his resonators 4 form. So they all +4/+4 bigger.
Now suddenly you just have a massive board and a lot of power, obviously.
Of course.
I think now you're in a position where you can start to just swing at Marcus. That's what he's gonna do. He just will play.
Oh, that's very good play. I think it could get swiftness to it. So before the recovery, he taps Malfi to produce blue, to give the Shavujing 1 ability and +2/+2. And with that, it's more powered up, and he can use it again and swing with a huge amount of damage on board. It looks like 13. Of course. That's the finish. Maybe he gave him flying because that Malfi can't block him.
That's
and
true.
And after +2/+2 and recovery, it should be 11, 13, 15. 15 is 30, and then much more attacks, and that should be game 1.
It's true. He just has. Also, these Malfis are not these random 3/6 bodies that do a bit damage, but now are 7/10s.
And also get, it looks like Zero or Mikesh flying.
And I think Marcus just looks through his graveyard, see if anything is in his hand.
Zero.
That's game 1.
Except the defeat. So 0-1, impressive against Pharaoh. Every time Nino played the deck, it's not a common you've seen. It's very different. It's extremely cool.
It brings pretty creative decks too.
Of course.
And it looked pretty good because just in the start of the game you just try to control the board. Just to not get too much pressure, and then
like
would you just
big amount of sideboard cards that he sides in. It looks 7 or 8 cards he get in for the deck against Pharaoh. And
yeah, so let's have a look what he works with.
Possible sideboard cards. Maybe.
So yeah, I think the full place completing the playset of Dawn of the Earth is
of course
very likely to happen. Just as we saw, the Pharaoh Judgment didn't do
nothing.
Nearly anything to help Marcus pressuring Nino.
Of course.
So that's I think pretty good. Also the Millennia Bond, just to have more counters to push your spells through with counter battle, just would help a lot, I think.
Is extremely important in these days, where are 8 to 12 counters in nearly every deck.
Yeah.
That's impressive. And also destruction of the portal.
Yeah, for the clouds maybe.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't know if that is that much important, because Zero is just so good against
alone with flying.
all these threats. Yeah. So maybe I think that 4th True Greatsword is also a thing that he could bring in just to kill all the little small little dudes. So
maybe Key's call against Pharaoh linking to if he enters the battlefield to show the top card.
Yeah, but I think that's I don't think that he will bring that in. Just not it doesn't affect the board at all. Just maybe denies one card, but not that important. But let's take a look at Marcus what he could bring in, because Zero is not that common, so don't really know what he wants to bring in against this deck. I think the 2 Pharaoh spells are pretty good, because
of course
the Rendezvous is quick cast, so
and I think more than 80% of the spells that Nino plays are quick cast spells. So Nino is only playing quick cast spells, so that's the perfect answer against his deck.
Yeah, it answers so many things. It counters Malfi, it counters the Rendezvous, it counters Dawn of the Earth, counters everything he wants. It counters. So and I think the Unseen Pressure will also be pretty good.
Maybe
because just the thing that the True Greatsword does not kill one spell is Malfi.
Yeah, of course, that's
and
true. Unseen Pressure is
and Nino is playing a lot of also a lot of these small resonators. So he could opt to bring those in if he has room for them.
Yeah, of course. That's very.
But the rest does not seem to be.
I'm surprised that Marcus only played 2 Malfi. That add 3 planting beans. The normal build are 4 Malfis because of the color fixing, the quick cast effects, and so on. But we see from Marcus the first Spirit Scholar Elf taps to recover a stone for a Sacred Elf.
Yeah, Nino does not have Severing Winds for the Sacred Elf, so it's a lot of mana for Marcus on turn 2 now.
On turn 2 is 4 will. That's impressive. So he can. Maybe
he can think about judging in turn 2. Yeah, because just Nino does not have that many. But he uses Greatsword to try to kill the elf. And it will resolve. So now Marcus can't judgment. So I think that was pretty important to kill the elf. Because otherwise I think the turn to judgment, the Pharaoh just putting 20 damage onto the board is just pretty hard to get through to survive with 2 mana.
Also if you get out the Pharaoh Rallying King, it was 3000 damage on board, plus every time he attacks another trigger to
some more cards.
Of course.
But Marcus doesn't play anything turn 2, just passes back to Nino. And
Nino
he
Tama
plays a Tama
to draw a card. He need to get rid of the elves so that he can't do judgment next turn. because of his actual state isn't that impressive. With one will open, he can't.
I think he has the energize left, but the energize doesn't produce blue, so I think he's lacking blue mana here.
Dawn of Earth.
Yeah.
That's okay.
End of turn he flashes in a Malfi.
So of course.
So now I think the judgment will most likely happen next turn.
Yeah, of course.
Because I think Marcus will see that Nino does not have.
Yeah.
Ooh, but yeah,
that's
true. It just can't True Blade from the graveyard kill the Malfi and now be safe again.
But now
he's not.
So
yeah,
he
can
no
judgment.
And then he can judge and get it 8, 10 plus 4 counters and the Rallying King.
Yeah, but he does not opt to do that. Just calls another stone, plays a Sacred Elf. I think most likely.
Now tap to recover. So did he end? He plays
another Sacred Elf. Okay.
That's interesting.
A lot of Sacred Elves this round.
Yeah, and pass. That's interesting that he didn't. That he did tap. Of course, he has 2 stones left. Why did he tap it? That's maybe a good deal or not. But normally I would tap the second stone and say, okay, I have 2 tapped stones, so I have. And if he try to kill one of my elves or the token or the spirit caller, if I can tap it, then that's that's the same way.
So now we see another greatsword from Nino Zimmermann just killing one of the Sacred Elves.
Best option to kill with it.
And I still think that he does not have access to blue mana, just
like
only hitting his green-white stones. Yeah,
that would be really bad if he don't get next turn the blue source. It would be heavy to judgment, so he can't Dawn of Earth the judgment and then sends out 1000 resonator with the judgment of Pharaoh. So with many counters out.
It would be a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, of course.
Had to get through. Yeah, and that's what we see. Just instantly judgment. You just say
no blue
can't do anything.
Yeah, of course.
And will reserve. Now we'll see the Rallying King most likely come into play.
Yeah, of course. That's one of the most played cards in the Pharaoh deck this weekend, and I think it's except of the Dawn of Earth from last game, the all-time judgment Pharaoh Rallying King out. That's the common one you try to get out of it.
Yeah, we do not see the other big elf anymore that often anymore.
Oberon.
Yeah,
Oberon is one of the elves that you usually play or that you got played in this deck with planting beans to get Rallying King in the grave and then judgment into Pharaoh. So you have Pharaoh, then Oberon and 3 elf tokens, so you can tap these 5 creatures to get back Rallying King. But now it's the builds go away from Oberon and just judge and
to
take
get
out Pharaoh direct.
Onto play, true.
So that it can't be countered. So, and he killed Sacred Elf with the second True Blade in the grave.
Yeah.
So now you have 2 True Blade spirits exiled. And at the moment of the game state it looks not optimal for Nino Zimmermann. Maybe it gets a 1-1, but we will see.
Yes.
Another True Blade.
Yeah, so Marcus has all the Sacred Elves, Nino got all the True Blades, kill
That's
a lot of these small creatures.
Yeah, of course 1 True Blade can deal with 2 Sacred Elves or 2 other elves. That's impressive. So with 4 True Blades you can deal with 8 elves optimal.
Yeah,
that is impressive.
And now Nino Zimmermann has got this blue mana, but sadly a turn too late
of course,
for his Dawn of the Earth. But let's see what he's going to do now.
Mikesh.
Just
and
playing
also
Mikesh.
it doesn't look like that Nino has very good plays at the moment.
He's looking for answers for the sport. Just trying find something that he can stabilize with to survive this game.
So at the actual state, both FoW can just attack, optimal deal 3000 damage, and then next turn attack is again, and that's
I don't think that Marcus will use these counters right away. Just trying to get in some damage, and
of course.
Then if he can finish, just use these counters
to the last time you need it.
Yeah.
And then use it only if you are really forced to use it to get barrier or to buff that they survive final battle, or get protection from something want to destroy them or want to target them.
Yeah,
that's very impressive.
Yeah. So now another time I played just drawing some cards, putting I think just little jump blockers for these big resonators Marcus has.
Also extremely good is by attacking with the rallying king to show the top card if it's an elf. Like
it is a sacred elf, so he gets to get a card. And Nino will just block with Tama.
Yeah, of course.
Did his job, just draws him a card, replaces itself, prevents himself from getting this big chunk of damage. Let's see if he wants to block this FoW, and there's not to. Just opts to keep.
And with the draw or the top deck from FoW, he now gets a Sacred Elf in hand and he can play next turn. Or he plays Elfish Command. It's also good, but does
it puts a lot another. But he has the other World Dreams.
So
try to counter it.
The follow-up Sacred Elf, okay.
That one we knew about. So that was pretty good for Nino, just getting 2 power onto the battlefield, way much better than getting this commander onto the field.
Also
brings another token and just buffs on the attack. So
that's impressive.
That was good for him.
Elfish command, get +1/+1 on every creature you control because they're all elves, and then attack with FoW. Look at the top card, and then if it's elf, get back in hand. That's so impressive.
And now I think he's still in trouble because
of course
Nino has a lot of power on the battlefield. So
that's if Nino
these 3000 life can these 3000 life can go away pretty quickly.
Yeah, of course.
So play the Malfi, and now I think we will see. Don't know it.
Other World Dreams. So if we have a follow-up play, that's good, but if don't, that's really sad. And then I think it will 1-1 tied, but we will see if Nino is thinking about. The will is open. He has enough will to play any counter.
Yeah.
So that will be maybe Millennium Bond. The color base would be
another
Dreams. Okay.
Dreams.
So, what's the answer on this other World Dreams? That's true.
That's a great True Blade.
Okay, that's not bad.
From the other World Dreams.
Okay.
So they're
Mikesh.
Other World Dreams resolved. So
True Blade of Spirits on Mikesh. Mikesh kills
Sacred Elf.
Sacred Elf, of course, because of the 300 death and 400 shoot and the judgment. So now we are more or less better for Nino, but it's also impressive for Marcus because he has 2 attackers and can buff the one that not blocked by 0.
Yeah.
And that's very impressive. And also if FoW attacks, he can look at the top card. Also, if FoW attacks get blocked by 0, he can look at the top card and get it out from it. So he can attack, for example, with the J ruler directly and do more damage every turn.
Yeah.
But now he's thinking what to play. Maybe with final battle in hand. He had only 1 battle open, so that could be.
That could be an option for him to just get rid of this 0.
to time. He tapped 2 stones. What wanted to play?
Yeah, he's thinking about something.
Yeah. Final battle. Okay, +1.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so he will most likely pay 18 life.
10, 20.
No, he uses a second mana.
Yeah, gets -1. Yeah.
Yeah, there. Yeah, I think he just did it so 0 dies exactly dies.
11, and he paid 1.
So he has
-1, -1, so he paid 20 to get -11.
Yeah, and that seals the game.
Yeah,
just Nino didn't have another counter for that, and just Marcus had enough power on the board to just instantly kill him. So yeah, that was game 2.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, that's the other side. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing, that if Nino can keep up with the pace that Marcus is putting onto the board, just see that game he played like Sacred Elf, Spirit Caller, Sacred Elf. He put so many little dudes onto the battlefield, and then also obviously he resolved his judgment,
and
that put him really far ahead.
Yeah, of course. Also, if he judge and don't get the resonator, he also get 4 counters that are on him. And that's impressive, because you can, for every counter, you can get barrier, or you can bounce +3/+3. That's an impressive amount. With all 4 counters on it, you can deal
just push 1,200 damage if an elf is not blocked. So
yeah, that's impressive. So that's also a huge amount of damage that he can plus the other stuff he has on board. That's impressive.
Yeah, his abilities are just so versatile. Just protection on the one hand with both of these things. He just buff one resonator to keep it from dying from, I don't know, burn spell or something like that. But also the barrier to just deny every single target removal. But on the other hand, also these counters just can deal such a big amount of damage in one turn.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah,
like we saw last turn, where Nino say, okay, I can't win, and if
enough damage for just
killed, I can pack.
Yeah.
That's because Pharaoh has all 4 counters on it and can buff himself to 20 to 2,000 attack and then swing for lethal. That's
So now we're into game 3, and let's see how that will go.
Which one have the energize? I don't. It looks like that.
So Nino's starting.
And Tama, that's
so that's good. Just drawing him a card. Just can kill the Spirit Caller if in response to the enter battlefield trigger.
Yeah, of course, that he can't recover the stones in that turn.
So no wonder for Marcus. Think that's pretty good for Nino. Just so Marcus isn't that fast like he was last game.
Yeah, of course, that's impressive.
So that's a thing pretty good for Nino.
Yeah, of course. Also, Tama is an attacker for 2/2. It's only 2 damage, or only 200 damage, but that could be also
but still you can attack, push through some little chunks of damage, but still leaving these 200 damage open to shoot something small down.
Of course, that's it.
And now the bigger version, Mikesh coming down as well, will resolve that. Get Nino another card in his hand.
In his deck. That's impressive.
Mikesh also Mikesh also kills, for example, Sacred Elf, which Tama does not. And with that board state also, Nino could kill a Malfi.
Yeah, of
if
course.
Marcus wants to use the energize to custom Malfi, which I think he will not do that board state.
Maybe, but it would be more or less he does. Malfi. But that's impressive. He did 200 damage and then can kill Malfi or other good stuff, and that's impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty good start for Nino here, just filtering, self-replacing cards.
That's heavy.
Marcus didn't have anything on turn 2 as well. So let's see how Nino can build up his board. See if he can just put some pressure onto Marcus to deny him from any resources he now could have.
Now he can attack for 200 with Tama, then 200 with Mikesh, and that's impressive. So and also he can shoot with others, a true blade of spirits on a meekish attack. Normally he would let it die, but maybe Nino needed. Let's look if that Nino thought. Maybe Nino get a counter in hand. No,
he just will let that one resolve. Just.
So, but also it's 400 damage on Marcus. That's on turn 2 or turn 3 impressive, because there are no board on Marcus' side. That's a complete clear board except 2 stones.
Yeah, it's really not a whole lot action going for Marcus, and that's
Nino building up his board with just a slow version.
Yeah.
But
now we see Nino just doing nothing. I think he's fine. He's fine with his hand.
Yeah.
He just thinks, now he can play the reactive game.
Yeah.
Just see what Marcus wants to do.
Yeah, of course.
And then react to those
have
things.
The counters when we need, or if he do judgment the Dawn of Earth, that he can if he judged, so that's also a -1 or maybe plus -0. So Nino Zimmermann is actually way ahead from his opponent, and there's a planting bean for Pharaoh Rallying King to send to the grave, and that's impressive. So maybe we see next turn.
I don't know. Yeah, but still, that's not that fast of a thing Marcus can do, because again he's just playing planting beans.
Yeah, of course.
Just and then doing nothing. Yeah, that's.
And also, if he tries to judgment, Nino have blue and white for judgment, so he can use both of his abilities.
Yeah. So now at the end of turn, before recovering, Nino buffs his Tama for 1.
Yeah, for 1 white to get +1/+1. That's very good.
And I think we see the true greatsword from the graveyard.
Yeah.
From Marcus to get rid of the Tama, the last.
Yeah, of course.
Resonator Nino has. But yeah, I still think Nino doesn't have to do anything here. Just can.
Yeah. That's
keeping up some counters, keeping up the Dawn of Earth.
Yeah, of course.
Just wait for Marcus to do something.
Yeah, of course. Nino's deck is more reactive than proactive. So you just react on the opponents. If he calls Spirit Caller Elf, Sacred Elf, or other stuff, I kill it. And in the last turn I judgment, get 0 out, Rendezvous of Light and Wind, to get some creatures out, buff my creatures, and so on, that I can kill in the late game with Resonators and J-Ruler my opponent.
Yeah, that's what we see from Nino, just moving to discard, getting rid of cards he doesn't really need in that much, and just I think in the late game Nino's deck is just has a bit more power.
Yeah, of course. Nino's deck is
for
extremely late game deck.
Now we will see the judgment from Marcus.
Yeah, the 4 counters are going on anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So
there's the Dawn of Earth.
That's impressive.
That's really what I expected. And so there we see the Energize used by Marcus for a Pharaoh spell.
So
I was expecting that, because seems to be pretty obvious doing that.
Did he have to counter or just target?
And he has the Millennia Bond.
That's impressive.
Yeah, another Severing Winds.
Okay.
So now if Nino doesn't have a Severing Winds, another counter,
if he did have
Marcus will get his trigger. So
of course.
this might we see a Severing Winds from Nino as well.
Who will win?
And there he won the counter battle.
Yeah, of course. And also with the Millennia Bond, he can draw a card, and also from
Dawn of the Earth, both cards replace themselves. Yeah, that's
impressive.
That's pretty good for Nino. Now I think he's in really good shape.
Yeah,
now just he judgments 0, and then it's pretty much like the first game. You just play it lot of small little resonators like Tama or Malfi, and just wait for a big rendezvous to buff your whole board, and then
also
just
maybe
finish
get some
Marcus.
creatures out, like Shabujin last turn.
Yeah, something
last
like
game
that. Yeah.
Shabujin, and then +4/+4 on all resonators is so extreme good.
Yeah, it's just so much power with one card that he can put onto the board.
Yeah, of course. That's so big, but he don't judge, he just tap for stone.
Yeah, I think he needs a bit more mana now.
Yeah, it could possibly be.
I think he has a Tama in hand, what I see.
So he thinks what he wants to play.
I mean, Ferret is still an 800,000 with these 4 counters on it, so it's not nothing you can ignore without zero.
Yeah, of course. And also with the clouds, he can gain flying.
Yeah, and there we see first Shaojing, and then the Tama.
So that he can't play Severing Winds, because Severing Winds costs one more to Shaojing. So Tama is the first safe play to play.
Yeah.
So that's very impressive.
Then now I think just Nino has to do pretty much the same thing as the first game. Just Judgment 0, stabilize the board, preventing himself from getting damage. Just waiting for this big rendezvous to come down.
Yeah, of course.
And to seal the game.
Yeah, it looks like that Rendezvous of Wind and Light and Dawn of Earth are the finishers of Nino, or the big play cards in his deck, so that he can judge and then have the Light J Ruler and the green resonators on board, and then use both effects of the Rendezvous of Wind and Light to buff and to play a card, and also Dawn of Earth to recover a big creature like Shaojing for 1/1 counters on it.
Put more damage, and I think that's what Marcus has to do. He just has to attack with Ferret, because he needs to get some pressure onto Nino to win this game, because otherwise if he just calls for a stone now, it just would be so
he gives the game out of his hands to Nino and say, okay, now you could win. But now
Nino tried to block, but Unseen Pressure will be used onto the Tama. So he will get 800 damage, but it's not a whole lot. The first 800 damage Nino gets this game. So I think he's fine with that.
Yeah, of course.
Trading his Tama for a move
only
as well.
400 life difference, and now Shaojing can attack for 700 or more, maybe. We don't know if he plays Rendezvous now. It could be. But
I don't think so. Just
or attack
not
Dawn
enough.
of Earth and attack again, because he don't need Dawn of Earth with Ferret's Judgment done. So that's not impressive.
So
if he attack Dawn of Earth again and then attack again, it's 18 because of the 2/2 from then. It's 18 damage, so it's half his life.
But
that's very impressive. Floyd's Water
just
Dragon.
not to choose to play a Floyd's Water Dragon, get a stone. I'm curious if he will Judgment this turn. I think so as well. Because I think the only thing that Nino would maybe like to have is to have 4 mana open to cast Severing Winds for 4 mana. But in this board state, I think the only thing he is frightened is Final Battle.
Yeah, of course.
Because if that one comes gone, he just have to do this whole process again, just building up some board.
Yeah, of course.
And all the other thing you could have is the Rendezvous, just with 4 mana, putting another creature onto the resonator into the field, and
that's now he's
buffing his whole board.
Yeah, of course.
So that's the other thing that he could opt to keep up with these 4 mana, and that's what he's gonna do. He's just not judging, just passing the turn back.
Okay, he passed. Interesting. With a recovered 0. With no judgment and so on, I think judgment would be very good.
But I think he just isn't Marcus isn't threatening lethal yet, because he just can put push 2000 damage through if he uses all counters from
if the
FoW.
attack gets through.
So yeah, I think Nino is just still in pretty good shape here in this game.
Yeah, of course. Also with Xiaojing that costs, or that costs Marcus spells +1.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. So final battle for Severance can't be activated with no stones open, and also final battle with 3 stones. You only can pay 1 for normal cost, 1 for Xiaojing cost, and then only +1.
Yeah, so you would have to pay a lot of life.
Yeah, that's.
And then also the thing he has to remember is this rendezvous that he could have. So if his board gets pushed with 4 counters, he has to think about that one as well, because then he would have to pay a lot more life to get rid of the whole board.
Yeah, and also the Floyd's Water Dragon is a 5/8.
Yeah, because the seal.
More than 5 stones.
Yeah, so Marcus tried to play a commander, which will get countered by
Otherworld Dreams.
Yeah,
and get out of Malfi, but at this board state, I don't think that Malfi
doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, the commander would have put another elf token into the two tokens onto the battlefield. So yeah,
other elves by attacking. That's
he would have a bit more creatures to block it, to work with. Also, maybe trying to get to 5 creatures, to 5 resonators to get his FoW out of his graveyard. But that's, I think that's he's pretty far away.
He's flashing in the bird that if he has counted 1 card, he can pay 2 less. So he can flash it in for white green.
For 2 colorless mana. Yeah, so that's another flying resonator put on the field.
For 7/8 flying for 2. That's very, very good for Nino.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure onto
buffing him
onto Marcus.
Marcus on his draw step before the recovery. His bird for 1/1. So that's
now it's a lot of damage because the Floyd's Water Dragon is flying and with 5 attack. The dragon is 8 attack, so he has already 13 flying power on board.
Of course.
Yeah, so
if Flying Battle and Dawn of the Earth is in his hand, that's very impressive.
Yeah, it would be a lot of damage.
But
I think he does not have to commit to everything. I think he can just play it slow, play it safe, so you just really get this win, because you are so far ahead in this game. And you really, really do not want to lose in that situation. So maybe he will just use the
because you have 2 effects. Because the bird is white and green, so I have a white and green. Like I said, there is the rendezvous, so that he could put 1 card from hand in play and also buff all creatures +4/+4.
Yeah.
So Otherworld Dreams for 2 because of Xiaojing.
Yeah.
And Nino has enough mana open to counter if he has a counter. So it doesn't look
he does not have a counter.
Maybe
he will just put the Malfi
that's not
into play. But yes, I think he's still fine because, like I said, he has 13 power, 13 flying power, and which I think he will use because he uses 0 to color stone and not the Floyd's Water Dragon.
Yeah, of course.
So I think we will see an attack here from Nino.
All in, it's 13,
20 damage if he
damage because Tama
can attack, but I think he will leave Tama behind because.
But 22 damage and Tama can sack something. It's okay.
Or he could try to kill the Malfi as well because she's arrested now. So he could use the Xiaojing to kill this Malfi.
Xiaojing or the bird or other stuff.
Yeah, some options here for Nino now that he can.
Or for example, attack with Floyd's Water Dragon and Tama in Malfi and attack with the rest direct. And it looks like Dawn of Earth. Dawn of Earth. That's a 8, 10, it's 20 on 20 direct damage on the dragon, on the bird. That's impressive. So it's
that's a lot of damage, yeah. So see attack again.
And then it looks like game ending, maybe.
So yeah, I think he has.
Simon, yeah, it should be game.
He has exactly lethal, right?
Yeah, it should be game.
Here 500 from this and 200 from
7.
this. Yeah, it's exactly lethal.
Okay.
Wow, that was really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just baited out the counter spell because the rendezvous would have been lethal as well. I think just by on its own.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really good, really well played. And yeah, like I said, after the second game, Marcus in the second game, Marcus was just so fast, putting so many resonators onto the board that Nino couldn't keep up with the pace.
Yeah, of course.
Now in the third game, again like the first game, he could control the board.
Yeah, and Marcus don't get out
survive
huge amount of creatures.
Just using again the Dawn of Earth.
Yeah, and
in response to the judgment, and yeah, it's just putting, just denying so many resources from Marcus that he can play the slow game that he wants to play with his deck and just finish the game in one big turn like we saw now.
Yeah, of course. Also, Dawn of Earth on a judgment is so impressive because you don't have 1,000 body on board.
Yeah, that's 1,000 power more or less is just so much.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And also you don't get every time a token or a elf, so you can attack with the Pharaoh Resonator, or on play you check the top card, and every time you attack with it, you can check the top card and
just
if there
getting
is
more cards in hand.
Elves, and that's impressive. So on 2-3 turns after entering with Pharaoh, you can attack each turn, and then 2, 3, or 4 tokens.
Just getting more
so
little dudes.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty impressive showing here by Nino.
Of course.
Really interesting deck. But I really liked it. Was just interesting to see what he's doing.
Plays different decks, and that's so impressive.
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
Pretty high level.
Deck and pretty good. It's very consistent. Every deck he plays was so good and so consistent. That's respect to him.
So yeah, it was pretty fun round 4 here in Berlin, and I think that's it for it for round 4. And yeah, we'll see you in the next round.